Okay, I think we're live. For a long time since I last did a live stream, especially about Super Fancy Brawl. I think it was the final of season 2. Um, been a bit of a fewer player count for season 3, but kind of as expected as things went a little bit back to normal and people started to go back to work and so forth. But still been really good. We've been doing the themed weeks up till the finals, and then we've got Artemis and Zeradius in the final. They've already played 4 matches, so it's already 2-2 in terms of the scores. So this will be the final match coming into. Sorry, 1-1. It's already 1-1 in. Sorry, it's best of 3. So let's get that right. So Zeradius managed to win the first one 5-2. And then Artemis came back with 5-1. So imagine this one's going to be quite a fun, close match when we come to it in very shortly. So the guys are just coming, going to be setting up very soon to get the table running. It's going to be done on Board Game Arena. Sorry, I'm just checking the chat. It's going to be done on Board Game Arena. And we will see how the final game goes. So if anyone is watching, wants to talk in the chat about Super Fancy Brawl, obviously the news from Mythic is that they're going to be delivering Solomon Kane Wave 2 and Super Fancy Brawl 2 together. We're probably looking, a lot later on now to get the delivery through. Probably looking 2022, early 2022, hopefully. And there should be some more competitive organised play going on as well, which will be cool. But a bit of a slow burner, as it were. I'm still playing the game a lot. It's still my favourite game of all time so far. Board game, I would say. I just love the game so much. It's just a lot of fun. There are some issues, especially with the new rules, and that's certainly been voiced around the community with balancing issues and all the rest of it. But we can be hopeful that once Mythic start getting the online play. Oh, Zeradius is on the chat. Cool. Yeah, no problem for the organisation. To be completely honest, with everything that's going on at the moment, I've got a pretty busy life at the moment. I'm probably gonna give season 4 certainly a delay or a miss. If anyone wants to take up the mantle and just run it, it's not too much work. But I'm currently, if you've watched any of my other streams or videos, I'm in the process of designing my own game. That obviously takes a fair amount of time with family, moving house, job back full on again, and everything else. So it's very busy times at the moment, but I'm really happy that I'm really thankful to the players as well to just keep it going till this to this end point. I think it's quite hard for a lot of players to find the time to play a lot of the online leagues and online matches. Now that life is, fingers crossed, is starting to come back a little bit back to normal. Obviously, we've got Essen happening right now, and that's in real life and all the rest of it. So some really cool stuff going on, and it's so nice to kind of get some normality back to a point. But yeah, Zeradius, no problem at all. Obviously, it has been really successful since season 1. I've been so honoured and pleased that so many people have come to play, and especially everyone's willingness to help new players, and just really nice attitude everyone's had in the league. So, and it goes to show how good this game really is. And I know that the French league is just going strength to strength. So we are still seeing the French players always up in the top with Super Fancy Brawl, certainly at the moment. But you never know, when they bring out the proper competitive online league, we might see a little bit more different nationalities racing up the tables, as it were. So yeah, can't wait for round 2, of the Mythic Games Kickstart to be delivered. That's going to be very exciting to get the new characters, get them painted up, get them playing. As I say, hopefully a little bit of a balance going on there as well. The new rules change, we talked about those before. Obviously, if you've got the original Super Fancy Brawl and you're watching this, you're just wondering what the online final was about and a little bit about competitive play. The 2 rule changes which have happened are the bloodied rule, changing to 3 damage onto any character and that causes them to be bloodied, as well as the challenge track only revealing 1 challenge at the start of a game. So they will be played in tonight's game as well, and then we'll see how that all runs. Lots of things going on. I mean, if we talk about Mythic Games, I've been playing quite a lot of Solomon Kane, relatively recently. I've been playing up those figures and then playing those stories as well. That's been a really fun game. Joan of Arc, waiting for that all-important 1.5 to be delivered, which is happening very, very soon, which will give us the updated rules and balanced scenarios. And I think everyone's just waiting for that so that we can get back playing Super Fancy Brawl, Joan of Arc ASAP. So that's a little bit about Mythic. Obviously, most of their projects we're still waiting on, and it's going to be a bit of a time like with many of the Kickstarters. I'm still waiting on quite a few Kickstarters at the moment, so that should be really good. Hi, Craws. How's it going? First time? No worries. Are you just out of interest, are you a backer of Super Fancy Brawl? Maybe the round 2 stuff, or played the game, know what the game is? I will talk through all the card plays as quick as I can. The French players tend to be pretty fast at playing, so it will be, I will try and keep my commentary up to speed. But hopefully, ask any questions, certainly while in chat. But I think we've got the game set up, so I'm going to switch views here. Hang on a second. Shaboom. We are now into... cool. Oh, you'll see how he plays then, Craws. Awesome. So we should now see the Super Fancy Brawl drafting, which is going on. This is completely pure competitive draft, so they're welcome to choose any of the characters from the list. We've also got some, at the moment with the new rules especially, we've got the Corvash OP overpowered character who's just a bit ridiculous, especially with the bloodied rule. Shazam still very, very strong, and Tentaclot has got some ridiculous ones as well. So we will definitely, and there's Artemis saying hello to YouTube. I hope he's not watching this, although it is in a kind of a delayed fashion, so even if they're watching it live, they probably won't pick up the plays as we see them. But ultimately, you can't see people's hands, so it should be not a problem at all. So here we have the pool of 5 characters. So as you may be aware, when you're doing competitive draft, you're going to draft 5 champions, which you're ultimately going to choose 3 champions from. But first of all, your opponent bans one of your characters. So we probably will see a double Corvash ban here, unless they really want to try out something new. Corvash is certainly one of the strong, if not, probably the strongest character in the game. But there are also some fantastic characters, especially with the new champions that have come out with the recent round 2 expansions, including Tentaclot, Zinshen, as we've got here. Tentaclot has got some crazy stuff. If we have a little look at this yellow attack, very, very, very powerful, with a double, a pull 2, so manipulation and ranged. It's extremely strong. He's also a 7, and his upgrade ability is extremely powerful. It gives him 1 defense, but the most important one is if he's adjacent to a statue, he cannot be displaced in any form at all. This is very, very strong. What I'm really happy is they've both got Lorelei. There's the first ban, as expected. There goes Corvash, and there goes another Corvash. He, unfortunately, it's kind of broken the game at its present time, and this is what I talked about. I really hope they bring out a live document where we can see some balancing going on for the competitive scene. For the casual scene, it doesn't really matter at all, but certainly for the competitive scene, they need to do some balancing. So I hope that happens before they're talking about before the next season, and that could be 2022, 2023 before that even happens. So I'm really hoping that they do sort it out. So Shazam, a real staple, a fantastic character, jack of all trades. Hasn't got range, but he has got range, but he's got a lot of movement and a lot of damage. Taze is a beast. He's got a lot of damage going on, a lot of dashing. So actually, he may not look like he has much movement to start with, but he certainly does have it. And there's some Tentaclot, possibly another OP character, in my opinion. Laurel and two Lorelei's, probably one of my favourite champions. Hang on a second, I should be able to do this so I don't have to keep scrolling up and down. So we got the game open. So now we're going to go through the process of setup. If you've not seen this before, you'll see the one challenge track which is up during setup is have a champion in each deployment area. We've got the axes over here, which is who's got Nevermore? Okay, so Artemis is up in the swords with this deployment zone, and then we've got Zeradius down here with the axes. First job is to place some traps, thinking about this in particular. So I imagine we'll see two closest to the deployment zone traps. When you do land on them, they're all negative. They can be wounds, they can be stuns, which is discarding cards from your hand and everything else. I'll try and explain a little bit about the rules as we go through. So you've got 3 cores, you're going to have a turn, it's going to move from back and forth, back and forth. We've got Artemis as first player, so he will be first players, but he'll deploy first, so at least Zeradius can maybe deploy his characters with thinking about that. They have a chance to choose their card, to draw their cards and do some mulligans, just to make sure they have a good first hand, hopefully. But the way it works is you've got these 3 cores, these 3 colours of magic, which you can spend your cards on. It's all card play mechanics, where all of your actions are done through cards or through the standard actions, which you can see up here. Okay. Technically, you do 3 per turn, but if you play a reaction card, which is 1/3 of the deck, effectively, is our reaction cards. They're played out on your opponent's turn to defend your characters, but they do use up your cores, so you will not have those coloured cores during your turn, and hopefully we'll see all that happening in a bit. All 8 tentacles are gone, by the way, but yeah, interesting. It might be something. Now, Lorelei is the ultimate support character. She is amazing when she's leveled up. You can see here, you draw, typically you draw 5 cards, and that is what you're going to be drawing up in terms of your hand. She allows you to draw up 2 additional cards, up to 7. And when you consider you've got 18 cards in total in your whole deck, that allows you to have a good chance of having the cards you need. Right, we've had the deployment from... why hasn't it said that? Okay, we've got the deployment from Zeradius. No, from sorry, from Artemis, and he's placed them across accordingly with Shazam right dead center. Protecting Lorelei over here is Zeradius, and we're already started. So here's Nevermore. We go down the card, so we've got 2 movement, and then place one of Nevermore's allies adjacent to that, and they get an additional attack. And they're going in for the staple Shazam card, Flash of Jade. Go next to 2 people, bloody both of them. This is really harsh on Lorelei. She's been really nerfed by this ability, especially against Shazam. It's brutal. And we've already got Shazam in their deployment zone. We've got Lorelei down to 1 health. Tentaclot is down to 4. It's very, very powerful play to start the game. And he's already got Nevermore as well up there to contest any future challenges as well. But yeah, I think Zeradius now needs to really think about how to... I mean, she has got some good cards. In particular, if we look at Healing Rain, maybe she can discard some stuff to heal up Lorelei back up to full. She's, of course, always got her standard action, which can heal 1 anyway. Looks like he's going in with Taze, so move 2, and then a target of 2. This looping arrow means you can target anything 2 hexes away without worrying about line of sight for 2 damage. He targets Shazam, so really trying to hit Shazam. Now, Shazam has 9 health to start with, so it's a hefty amount of damage to take out. But so if anyone can do it, Taze can do it. So we'll see what happens. So that's 2 damage gone straight through. And that was the blue core finished. Let's see what's next. I wouldn't have thought it'd be... Taze has a crazy good card called charge, where you move 1 and then you dash 3, and for every hex you dash through, you get +1. So it's a potential 4 damage attack with 4 movement. So there is. So it'd be interesting. Okay. So I'm a little bit surprised by this, but I suppose it was a bit chocked up to get to him. This is only going to be a 2 damage attack. So I presume he just dashed for 1. Yep, so there's another 2 damage. So he's down 4 damage, which is good. He's by the way, if you see it go red, it just means they're bloodied. So all 3 of these characters are bloodied. But we haven't got Corvash on the board, so we're not going to see a load of bloodied shenanigans going on, which he is synonymous with. But some just taking down a bit of Shazel's health. Is he going to heal? No, he's not. This is nice. This is nice. This is basically going to just be 3 damage through. There's not a lot he can do about this because he's bloodied. The attack ignores defense. But I don't know if you noticed that perhaps there's nothing. Artemis got a victory point for something. Pincer maneuver. Oh, have a champion in each deployment area. Did you not see that? There was nothing. I don't think there was anything he could do. Taze is fantastic at dealing damage, but he hasn't got a lot of manipulation. So Artemis has already picked up a victory point here. I presume he's going to take out Lorelei next as well for a second victory point. This is going to be a bit of a brutal start that Artemis is putting on Zeradius here. Whoa, hang on, what just happened? Giselle deals 2 damage to Taze. Taze cannot move. Oh, okay, it takes 2 damage. Okay, fair enough. In comes Nature's Wrath. Is he going to take out Lorelei with Lorelei? No, I don't think so. So, no, he's going all the way for Taze. Leaving Lorelei, interesting. Lorelei only had 1 health. But he's opted to go for... Who's he going to attack? Sorry, I keep scrolling that. I shouldn't do that. He went for Tentaclop. But look at this. 1 health on Tentaclop. 1 health on Lorelei. I see what he's doing here. He's keeping them on the board. This is very clever. This is kind of high-end play. Rather than just going, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take out Lorelei and then she's dead. He's giving, what Artemis is doing here is giving Zeradius a lot to think about. He's now got 2 characters that have got 1 health each. Healing Rain would be amazing here if he's got a few cards from both these characters. It could actually save him quite substantially. But what it's actually doing is forcing Zeradius to have to play perhaps different things. Shazel's there with 2 health left. He could potentially take Healing Rain and a Nature's Wrath would be pretty amazing here from Zeradius. I don't think either have been. Nope. So it is a potential. If he's got the cards for it, has he used quite a lot of Tazes? I think he has. Yeah, he's used 4 of Tazes and only 1 of... It's a potential. It's a potential play that he heals up to Tentaclot and Lorelei a fair amount and does Nature's Wrath on Shazel, levels up Lorelei, able to draw up 7 cards, and then actually from a really disadvantaged position, potentially, can build up quite high here. But it really is all speculation. I don't know what Zeradius has in his hands. I think he's really thinking on here, what is his play? What does he do? What he doesn't probably want here is Lorelei and Tentaclot taken out in 1 turn. So it looks like we've got a jump 3 and force 1 to all champions. So he's jumped over to the blue zone, so over to this statue here, and pushed, or forced, I should say, which means that you move their character onto a new trap. Unfortunately, it was only stun, but he does have to get rid of one of Nevermore's cards. It hasn't said that he has. So we just wait. Yeah, there we go. So you have to replace a trap. There always has to be 4 traps out at one time. And he discards Murder the Crows, which is his reaction card, but effectively, which is actually quite strong. So a nice move. I'm presuming no Healing Rain. I can't remember what colour Healing Rain was now. Off the top of my head. Was it? Yellow or blue? I think it was yellow. Yes, it was yellow. So yellow, cool. So he still could potentially do it. Nate Schraff is red. So still is possibility here. I don't know. It really depends on the cards. As with any card game, of course. Just a note, plan in this game is really, really strong. Because you're discarding your hand at the end of a turn, to guarantee your next a card in your next turn, planning is how you do that. You take a card from your hand, you place it on top of your deck. So it enables you to kind of set up your next turn. And what can be really, really harsh in this game is if you're pulling bad card draws. Okay, we've got we've got Mind Cloud. Force 1 and put 1 card. So Lorelei went on to a 1 damage trap, and now we're going for a 2 damage with 2 poison. Will this take out? Oh, Nevermore's not been hit yet. Okay. So Shazam. The question is Artemis used up many of Shazam's cards? 1, 2, 3. 3. No, only 3 cards. And that's Flash of Jade included. I feel a Shazam takeout on Lorelei is going to pretty much guarantee to happen here. And remember, the Tentacle is still only 1 health. This could be a double takeout from Artemis next turn. Anyway, we'll see what's happening here. It's going to be 2 damage plus 2 damage from poison. So we're 4 damage altogether, which is good. It's taking Artemis's characters down. But Flash of Jade. Gotta love a bit of Flash of Jade. He might have wanted to think about that one because Red Core's still available. He did take 3 damage, but then so Tentacle also takes 3 damage. So that's Nevermore leveled up. And an extra victory point for Artemis. It's first to 5, remember? Oh, Craws, I do know Super Fancy Brawl quite well, if that's what you mean. The only thing I don't know is what's in their hands. So I've got to make a few guesses, as it were, or tactical guesses. Anyway, the reaction was played. It's taken out Sir Tentacle, and now it's an extra victory points, 2 victory points to 1. The new challenge is control the enemy deployment zone, and Shazam is already set up in that area. This is brutal. We had a... Whoa, what did we just have? We'll have... no idea. What just happened? Artemis. Play stand action yellow to heal Lorelei. Standard action red to move and hit Taze. Why did he not take Lorelei out? Okay. Anyway, for some reason I'm not seeing any cards. This is doing... Anyway, it was Grasping Vines. So she went 1. She moved Shazam onto the trap. She was hoping for a damage. They were hoping for a damage. Unfortunately, it was just root, which means you can't move. And then healing. There is healing. That was healing. That was healing rain. So there was healing rain. Just what I was hoping for. He was probably hoping that that would happen when Certain Clock was still on the board. So Zeradius would have known that you had healing rain, and it was only just a matter of time. But unfortunately, that reaction really did hurt. But anyway, we're still on 2-0. Remember, we got 3 adjacent to each statue, which actually Red is taking at the moment. Did he notice that? Oh, this could be brutal. Standard action move 2. This is going to be 2 victory points, I think. Oh no. Is it? Or have I got that wrong? Oh, same stat. I read it wrong. Sorry. 3 adjacent to the same statue. That's fine. That's fine. Control the blue manipulation areas next. No one's in there at the moment. And you can't score this one. It basically tells you what you're going to be fighting for and what you're trying to get. So it's still only 2-0. Lorelei back up to only 1 wound now. So that's looking much more healthy. Shazam with only 2 health left. Nevermore a little bit damaged. Lorelei all the way back to full. So, not looking too bad. Yeah, Uncle Andy, I think you're 100% right. It's so when you play this game, it's something that you want to just you want to take the characters out because you're like, yeah, I level up and I get a victory point. But it's so easy to get your champions back on the board that sometimes it's not worth taking them out at that point. You're better off waiting. The only problem now, of course, is because now Lorelei is healed. She's going to be a lot harder to take out. Anyway, was that 4 damage onto, with double strike onto Taze, leaving him with 2 health. Very nice move. What can Artemis do for his second core? We'll have a look. And we've got Sufraga, another very good player. He's it's just online. I don't know if he's actually joined the table. Awesome card. This is how you set up your next turn. Move 3, draw 1, plan 5. You basically plan your entire turn next. We're yet to see a Nature's Wrath leveling up a Lorelei to get 7 cards in hand. It's so strong, but you have to keep her alive to make real use of it. Clairvoyance, so drawing 1 card, and now Artemis just deciding what he wants to plan, and we'll see how that all goes. Oh, Uncle Andy's Niv. Okay, Niv, another player from in the chat, by the way, from the online league. Another very good player. Okay, standard action yellow, move and heal. Is this going to be Shazam taking that taking the enemy's deployment area just to put some pressure onto Lorelei for that. So we're back to Zeradius. What can he do? Is now the time to pounce? Who knows? To pounce on the tiger, I don't know. We've got controlling the blue. Jason's the same statue. He's not a million miles. Nature's Wrath. This could be strong. This will probably target Shazam. Yeah, level up Lorelei. That's what you want to do. Draw 7 cards. Very strong. That was the time to pull the trigger. Wait until exactly. Wait until you can take him out with Lorelei. That's a very strong move. Now, what's the choices? Might be to just get into position now, possibly. Start to put the pressure a little bit on Artemis. So we're 2-1 on victory points. Zeradius picking up a victory point from the take out of Shazam. Nevermore is on 5 health remaining, so not super strong. We've got the rush, so this is really good for movement. That's a move 2. He's into the blue manipulation area, so he's looking to challenge this challenge. And ally made dash 2. I think he actually used Taze for the entire move. No, there we go. There's the 10 o'clock moving up. Are we going to see a 10 o'clock move next? I wonder. The bans were unsurprisingly Uncle Andy or Niv. The bans were both Corvash, which is going to be the case every single competitive play. By the way, that was a 10 o'clock move over to the yellow zone. Interesting. At least 2 of your champions are leveled up is the new challenge. The unpicked... Oh, God. No, you're asking. Goldar... For Artemis, I want to say Goldar... Oh, who else was it? I forget now. From seeing it. It went quite quick. I think Goldar wasn't chosen. Jinsen certainly wasn't chosen for Zeradius. And I can't remember the other 2. Right, what have we got? New round. 2-1. Nature's Wrath. Boom, boom, boom. Bye-bye, Taze. Maybe. Oh, no, he's over there. So 10 o'clock is going to be on. Oh, Lorelei. If she can get Lorelei. That is strong. So strong. I didn't see that. Of course, it's range 4. Nature's Wrath's insane. 3 to 4, indirect, so you don't have to worry about line of sight. 3 damage, ignoring defense. With Lorelei's defense at 2, that's insanely strong. And now, Lorelei has Zeradius has lost his level up, but now Artemis has picked up his level up. Please note, Zeradius does have 7 cards in hand. Then the last one was a move 1, sweep 4, enemy sweep through, suffered 4. So he's gone over to there, caused 4 damage, and of course a fear 1, which causes him out and pushes him out of the blue zone, stopping the scoring over here. Really nice play, taking the blue zone himself. With grasping vines. No, he discarded grasping vines, sorry. He played a standard action yellow. So move 1 and heal 1. So 3-1 Artemis. And with the level up, 7 cards in hand each for this particular round. Let's see what Zeradius can do in reaction to this. With Artemis's Nevermore in the blue zone, that should probably be ringing alarm bells, because that is the win if he gets it. Obviously, it's controlling that area, so you need more characters in that blue zone compared to the other player, your opponent. So all he has to do is make sure one of his champions is in the blue zone, and you'll stop him scoring that particular one. There's the standard action yellow, move 1 and heal 1. Now he's contesting the blue zone, so that just keeps it as standard. He has got 2 champions leveled up as well, so it's very likely he's going to score this one, which will be worth 1 victory point, leaving him with 1 to go. He's got to worry about Taze here. Taze with only 2 health remaining. This is... I don't see... Zeradius, this is a massive uphill battle. This will be the comeback of the century if he manages to claw this way back. But with that victory point from his 2 leveled up champions and the fact that Taze is so damaged, what can he do? Healing Rain, standard action blue, and a standard action 2. There's the challenge, giving him his 4th VP. If he can take out Taze, Artemis wins the final and Season 3 of the Online League. And we're starting with a bit of lifesteal as well. I didn't even have to move. Soul Reeve, he is moving 1. And he's targeting for 2 damage. We need a reaction here from Zeradius. It was no... Oh dear, no reaction. And Artemis. I'm just thanking them and congratulating them there. So that was pretty brutal. I've got to be honest. That was a relatively quick match, but it certainly can be a quick match. And a lot of the time, Superfan. That's one of the advantages of it, is you can get quite a few games in a lot of the time, especially if you know how to play the game. Card draw is massive, as you would imagine from a card game, and it was that was pretty brutal. Getting Nature's Wrath just when Zeradius's Lorelei was leveled up. I mean, that was probably the killer play. Taking out a Lorelei. She's unfortunately, I mean, Artemis had Shazam and Lorelei, and that's such a strong combination against a Lorelei. Shazam with Flash of Jade and the change to the Bloody Rule, it really did not help Lorelei one bit, which makes her, she's a really great character, a great support character, fantastic level up ability, but to keep her leveled up, it's just so hard. And with a Lorelei against Lorelei, it can be quite a fun game, but I just feel that with Shazam as well, that was just too much, too hard. So yeah, a quick game, a pretty brutal game. From the get-go, when Shazam was transported over there with Nevermore, and then suddenly was Flash of Jade, Lorelei down to 1 health, and I think Sir Tentaclot damaged quite severely. First turn, that's always gonna be a brutal thing to come and get back to. Some fantastic plays though, some advanced plays in the sense that you don't always want to take out your opponent's champions when you can. Sometimes you want to leave it and then wait for a champion who you really want to level up and get them to take them out. And that's especially true with this particular matchup with the Lorelei's, because you really want to get Lorelei with Nature Wrath off to level her up, give yourself those 7 cards. It gives you more of a chance to get reaction cards in defense. It gives you more chance to get more cards to do like Healing Rain or anything else that bolster if you're discarding other cards. So, helps you better when just in case you get a stun against you. So she's got fantastic abilities, but unfortunately, unlike a lot of the champions that have got buffed by the rule changes, she certainly has got nerfed. The other one that really thankful has really benefit from the 2 rule changes, especially the bloody rule, is is Marius. Marius has got a bit better now as well, which is nice to see, because he was certainly not taking much at all. Niv just saying in the chat, Lorelei is her own hard count at 100%, and Nature's Wrath is just so brutal against her. Any attack that ignores defense. I'm pretty sure Isabella's got a similar attack as well, which ignores defense. It is a red core, so it is using your most attacking, powerful card, but yeah, it can be absolutely brutal. And then you're suddenly just switching over and over. I mean, there's a lot of healing that can go on as well, but if you're ignoring defense, there's not much point in using Lorelei's defensive card, because you're not going to be using it to heal. Her defensive card, by the way, heals her, so it's one of those things which is really quite cool card as well. Awesome. So that was a lot shorter than I thought it was going to be, but at least it gives you an idea, especially if you're new to the game or just wanted to see from perhaps the round 2 Kickstarter, kind of like what it's like online and on Board Game Arena. It is good. For me, it's a bit more like a computer game, just because everything's kind of automated and it's all top down. There's no miniatures, there's no rendering like Tabletop Simulator. But if you want something quick and easy, then Board Game Arena is fantastic, and it's completely free, of course, which is huge. So we've been using that recently. We started on Tabletopia, where there's a mod on there, but then Mythic have supported Board Game Arena for their online version of Super Fantasy Brawl now. So yeah, you can just go onto boardgamearena.com, sign up, and then find Super Fantasy Brawl. Just search for the game, and you can play it on and on. Zerelius, no worries. Not a problem for the live, and certainly not a problem for the tournament at all. Congratulations again, Artemis. Well deserved win, and Zerelius, congratulations for runner-up. The online leagues have all been completely dominated by the French players. There is no question that the French players are the creme de la creme, pardon my French, of the Super Fantasy Brawl scene at the moment. And it would be really, really interesting, hopefully, when Mythic start to organise proper tournaments. If we can get regionals, nationals, and even worlds, I mean, that'd be so good. But it's going to take a lot of practice and a lot of doing to topple the French players for sure. But yeah, thank you to so many of the French players for playing in the online league as well, for speaking English to a lot of the English players and new players that we've had in the league. And yeah, all the players have been just so fantastic, so patient, and so great at just explaining how the game plays and everything else, and just being very good sports. So massive congratulations, Artemis and Zerelius, on your runner-up. I'm afraid I haven't got a reward this season, so apologies about that. But I will invite you to the winners area on Discord, of course, and you can grab some of the art that I done last season, by all means, from there. I also sent Bloody Ben that trophy, but I haven't heard back from him. So hopefully our season 1 winner, I made a Shazam, which was really quite cool. So hopefully we hear back from him, and hopefully he's received his prize. Awesome, guys. Right, I'm going to close the stream now. Thanks for watching. If you want to catch it, hopefully you catch it later if you haven't watched it live, for a little bit of online Super Fantasy Brawl action, keeping us true until round 2 content arrives at our doors. And Mythic start their competitive play. They keep talking about they're doing it, so I think they're not doing it until round 2 arrives, so don't expect anything until probably February, at my estimation, February next year in 2022. Okay, guys. So until next time, keep gaming, keep brawling, and let's play some games in real life at last.